Hello and welcome to Counting the Omer 5786. This is the count for the night of May 13th, 2026. We're going into the day of May 14th up until sunset when it will be a new day. Let's start with the blessing for the mitzvah of counting the Omer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who sanctifies us with mitzvot and commands us concerning the counting of the Omer. Hayom shnaim ve'arba'im yom shehem shisha shavuot la'omer. Today is day 42. Apparently, I put an extra O there, which is 6 weeks of the Omer. Malchut shebiyesod Eloheinu. Sovereignty within foundation, our God. Okay, we're going to dig into this today and do a little bit of Torah study. So let us say the blessing for Torah study. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu le'asok b'divrei Torah. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who makes us holy through mitzvot, and who commanded us to get busy with words of Torah. We are in the 6th week of the counting of the Omer, which corresponds to Yesod, foundation. And this is the 7th day, the day of completion of the week, which corresponds to Malchut, sovereignty. Today, the foundation is complete. Integration is fulfilled. The covenant is prepared. Tomorrow, we step into the final week before Sinai. In this last week, we will think about what it means to prepare for receiving Torah. But today, let's look at what happens right before Sinai. So we're going to take a look at the Torah. So we get to Sinai in chapter 19 of Exodus. But this is the chapter right before that, chapter 18, at the beginning of Parshat Yitro. Now Yitro, the priest of Midian, Moshe's father-in-law, heard about all that God had done for Moshe and for Israel, his people, that Adonai had brought Israel out of Egypt. Yitro, Moshe's father-in-law, took Tzipporah, Moshe's wife, after she had been sent home. Now, an aside, when Moshe left the wilderness where he saw the burning bush and follow God's command to head to Egypt, he first took Zipporah with him, but the stress and the responsibility of what he was trying to do to free his people was kind of too much for them as a family. So he told her to get back home, and he would see her in the future once the people were free. So now his father-in-law is bringing back his wife and his kids. So, following on, verse 3, and her 2 sons, of whom the first one's name was Gershom, sojourner. There, for he had said, I have become a sojourner in a foreign land. And the other's name was Eliezer, God's help. For the God of my father is my help. He rescued me from Pharaoh's sword. And Yitro, Moshe's father-in-law, came with his sons and his wife to Moshe, to the wilderness, where he was encamped at the mountain of God at Sinai. He had it said to Moshe, I, your father-in-law, Yitro, am coming to you, and your wife and her 2 sons with her. Moshe went out to meet his father-in-law. He bowed low and kissed him, and each asked after the other's welfare. Then they came into the tent. And Moshe related to his father-in-law all that Adonai had done to Pharaoh and to Egypt on Israel's account, all the hardships that had befallen them on the journey, and how Adonai had rescued them. And Yitro was jubilant because of all the good that Adonai had done for Israel, that he had rescued him from the land of Egypt. Yitro said, "Blessed be Adonai, who has rescued you from the hand of Egypt and from the hand of Pharaoh, who has rescued the people from under the hand of Egypt." So now I know, yes, Adonai is greater than all gods. Yes, in just that matter in which they were presumptuous against them. And Yitro, Moshe's father-in-law, took an offering up and sacrifices for God. And Aaron and all the elders of Israel came to eat bread with Moshe's father-in-law before the presence of God. So I want to point out that before Moshe goes up to Sinai, first his father-in-law, who happens to also be a priest, comes to him with his wife and his sons. So before he's able to go up and get the law, his mentor comes to him with his wife and children, and the family is reunited. This we can think about as before you can really take on this thing that's about to happen, you have to be fully united with your family. This is part of Moshe's full integration before he steps up, right? He is getting the support of this mentor of his, who is also his father-in-law, so family, and he's reuniting his whole family together. Now it was on the morrow that Moshe sat to judge the people, and the people stood before Moshe from daybreak until sunset. Moshe's father-in-law saw all that he had to do for the people. He said, "What kind of matter is this that you do for the people? Why do you sit alone while the entire people stations itself around you from daybreak until sunset?" Moshe said to his father-in-law, "When the people comes to me to inquire of God, when it has some legal matter, it comes to me. I judge between a man and his neighbor and make known God's laws and his instructions." Then Moshe's father-in-law said to him, "Not good is this matter as you do it. You will become worn out. Yes, worn out. So this people that are with you, for this matter is too heavy for you. You cannot do it alone. So now hearken to my voice. I will advise you so that God may be with you. Be yourself for the people in relation to God. You yourself should have the matters come to God. You should make clear to them the laws and the instructions. You should make known to them the way they should go and the deeds that they should do. But you are to have the vision, to select from all the people men of caliber, holding God in awe, men of truth, hating gain. You should set them over them as chiefs of thousands, chiefs of hundreds, chiefs of fifties, and chiefs of tens, so that they may render judgment for the people at all times. So shall it be, every great matter that they shall bring before you, but every small matter they shall judge by themselves. Make it light upon you, and let them bear it with you. If you do this matter, when God commands you further, you will be able to stand, and also this people will come to its place in peace. Now I want to point out, like I said before, Yitro is Moshe's mentor in this situation. He's teaching him about proper governance and how to set up the community. So just as his family had to be integrated, his community has to be well integrated. It can't be him trying to do everything because he'll burn out. And also, it's not good for the rest of the community to only have one person to turn to. We need to spread the responsibility around. And so Yitro has brought this lesson to Moshe, and as we see, Moshe listened to his father-in-law. Moshe hearkened to the voice of his father-in-law. He did it all as he had said. Moshe chose men of value from all Israel. He placed them as heads over the people, as chiefs of thousands, chiefs of hundreds, chiefs of fifties, and chiefs of tens. They would render judgment for the people at all times. The difficult matters they would bring before Moshe, but every small matter they would judge by themselves. Moshe sent his father-in-law off, and he went home to his land. So we see here there's an integration. First, Moshe and his family, then Moshe and his relationship to the community, and then the integration of the community into its new governance. Now it's prepared in a way that it wasn't before. He's prepared, his family's prepared, his whole community is prepared to be able to accept the law. There is a vessel in which to bring the law so that he is not just standing there by himself. Because none of us, no matter how great we are, even if you are Moshe himself, the greatest leader the people has ever had, right? According to our tradition, even Moshe himself could not hold that burden all by himself. It would not be healthy for him and it would not be healthy for the community. So here we are at the end of this period of integration, and we prepare to step into the next step. The next step is purifying ourselves to stand at Sinai. So I will see you tomorrow, I hope. In the meantime, if you have any thoughts or comments, I'd love to hear them either here on YouTube or in our community over at school, where there's room to write longer form pieces and also engage in more conversation. Thanks so much for studying with me and counting the Omer. I will see you tomorrow in Malchut.